How's it going, What the F fam? Welcome back. It's been forever. I've really missed you guys. Really glad that you stopped by and checked up on what your old pals Nate, Casey, and Sean are doing. Well, we're doing what we're normally doing, drinking stuff and talking to people. Today we're going to talk to our good friend Cassie May. She is really exciting. We had a lot of fun talking to her. She coached us all up, and we all feel like better people now. So without much further ado, here's the episode.
All right, you guys, well, let's get this show on the road. We are joined today by Cassie May. Woo!
All right.
We're super glad that Cassie came in and kicked down the No Girls Allowed sign on the outside of the clubhouse because you are our very first non-dude guest.
You can call me the first lady.
You're the first lady.
I'll take it.
What the F am I doing, first lady?
Yeah.
Boom. That's a wonderful title. Freaking fantastic.
Epic first lady.
Well, welcome. So you're so many things.
I'm so many things.
You got. I hope you've carved out some time to tell us all the stuff that you do because we can't wait to hear. We titles suck, right?
Yeah.
But we need you to
they
kind of
do
know
suck,
what your
yeah.
title is because you got a bunch of them.
I have a lot of titles. Yeah. It's so hard. So I'm cosmetologist by trade.
Okay.
During the day, or at least most of the time during the day, like 30 hours a week, 40 hours.
Okay.
But I'm a nutritionist, a health coach, and I'm a women's confidence coach. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm not teaching right now, but I do teach yoga, and I have at gyms, yoga studios, Roseburg School District, at Summerfield Elementary. So
Yeah, I want to talk about that later on. The yoga with kids. What did you call it? It had a really cool
Little
name.
Yogis.
Little yogis. That's so great.
Yeah. And I joked earlier about the teacher thing because that to me really sucks. However, teaching yoga to children has been the most joy of my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, let's talk about that. How did you get into teaching kids yoga?
Started teaching my kids yoga at home. My son is 11 and he's very ADHD, like just all over the place, 24/7. His emotions are this roller coaster of teenage girl puberty, but all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, how am I I can't deal with this. He was getting in trouble at school. And I had been doing yoga since I was 17. I was like, I think I'm going to try teaching him a little bit of mindfulness when he starts to feel overwhelmed, how to deal with these emotions. And it bloomed. All of a sudden, my kids were coming home from school. Our principal's teaching yoga? I was like, does your principal know yoga? No. He asked us if you could come in.
That's awesome. How cool is that principal, though? Like,
yeah,
that's pretty outside the box.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Schrader. He's a badass.
Big ups, Mr. Schrader.
Shout out to Mr. Schrader.
Right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Life coach.
Health coach. Yeah.
Health coach. Alrighty. Let's talk about that. What's a health coach do?
A health coach is someone that inspires and motivates people to want to be healthy, like the best version of themselves, health-wise.
Right on.
Which has to do with so many things, though, because people always think health is like food, but really it's like a nutritionist and a therapist in one, because nutrition and health also come from stress and life and family and relationships. And there's so much that we take into our body when we eat it that has to do with something completely different. It's not about the food.
Right.
It's not about the Twinkie. It's about the fight I was in with my husband 15 minutes ago. That's why I'm eating the box of Twinkies.
People stress eating.
Yeah.
And things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress Twinkie.
Stress Twinkie. I always use Twinkie because it was my go-to.
Yeah?
That was my go-to. So I always talk about the Twinkie because that was it.
Delicious.
Yeah.
And also bad for you. But
so bad for you.
Yeah.
Please don't eat them. Whoever's listening. They're so good, but don't eat it.
It's a sugar-filled Nerf football.
Yeah, it's like deep fried in like cow fat or something. It's crazy.
We talked about this off air, but I think that as a garbage eater, if I had eaten Nerf football, I would definitely fry it in cow fat.
It's like, I wonder what this tastes like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deep fry it.
I know it's gonna be better if I fry it in something.
what's it with people like deep frying anything? Because that's like, I've been there.
Yeah.
We did, I was at a party in Seattle at a friend's birthday party, and a guy brought a deep fryer.
I like this party already.
And you're going to,
my kind of party.
this might be a little cringy, even though Oreos are vegan.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely are.
So we deep fried Oreos.
Like, we're just going to, you know what? This wasn't bad enough. It wasn't artificial enough.
Yeah.
Let's fry it in oil.
Let's deep fry it.
I just have to do it.
There's like a fascination with deep frying things. I mean, to counter it, we also deep fried habanero peppers.
Sure.
And then eat those. And that was,
round of applause for the American way.
Yeah.
Fry stuff.
It was like a state fair, but in somebody's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Fortunately, I didn't go home and be like, man, I got to get a deep fryer tomorrow. You know,
Yeah.
because that's,
That was enough.
Yeah.
I feel sick, actually. I think I'm going to go to the bathroom.
yeah.
I had
It was a bit
100 years ago. I had a friend that did the Atkins diet, and this guy he's a large man,
Yeah.
big trucker, and his parents got him a deep fryer for like a Fry Daddy
Oh my
for
God.
Christmas,
Oh, boy.
and he just ate nothing but fried food out of the Fry Daddy for like a month, and yeah, it was miserable. Shockingly, the Atkins diet, as he did it, did not work for him.
Yeah, people don't follow the rules. Like someone was like trying to tell me something about the keto diet the other day, and I was like, "Oh, listen, as a certified nutritionist, you're doing it incorrectly."
That's a big one because
It's huge. Yeah.
I didn't know about. So this is from working at Dutch Bros actually.
Mhm.
Okay, and like they started promoting like keto
Yeah.
alternatives and stuff like that, like with the heavy whip and
Yeah.
to like replace your cream or whatever with that, and people would come in and like I felt like it was like my responsibility to like educate them and for what little knowledge I have of it,
Yeah.
right? But like I just started learning about it because I was serving it to people,
Yeah.
and people would come in and they would get the keto, they wanted that, but they want sweet stuff in it, we can't do the sugar,
Yeah.
and so they're like, oh, well, give me the sugar-free stuff, right? And I'd be like, whoa, hold your horses, okay? Because if you get like the sugar-free sauces, right, the caramels and stuff like that, there is so much carbs in that stuff.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And they're just like, give me like 5 ounces of that in my thing. And I'm like, hold on. Get a sugar-free syrup in your thing if you're really trying to, if you really want to do this thing. Like, don't get anything sweet in it at all, honestly, if that's what you're really trying to do, right? But they would come in and it'd be like, whoa, like you think you're getting like keto, but you're really not if you get this thing. And like somebody had to tell me eventually, and I was glad I was the person to tell them because it was like one of those, one of your responsibilities as like a barista is to kind of like ask and educate the customer, make sure they know what they're doing.
At the salon, I hear that all the time. Like, oh, I'm trying the keto diet. I'm like, oh, great. How's it going? Oh, it's going good. I had some cheese for breakfast. Whoa, listen, I know the rules and what you read, but the reality is you shouldn't be eating cheese on the keto diet.
What's your overall opinion on the keto diet?
I hate it. I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's kind of diametrically opposed to what you actually live, right? I mean,
well, yeah, because mine is a plant-based diet, right? Like that's my diet or my lifestyle. People use the word vegan and then people use the word plant-based, but plant-based wasn't a huge thing 5 years ago. That's not what it was. I wouldn't go around being like, oh, I'm plant-based. No. And then even then I'd be going around Roseburg, oh, I'm a vegan. People would be like, what?
You
What
get the hell out of here, commie.
What is that? And then when you try to explain it, they were like, why would you do that? It's like, lots of reasons. Not enough time for that at the checkout here. So
if you don't even know what it is, I don't think I got the time to explain it to you.
Yeah. Because it's just, that's too much for your brain right now.
There's a lot of funny. If you go to the like east, southeast, it's funny trying to be a vegetarian or a vegan over there because I remember walking into an Applebee's and asking for a veggie patty or a veggie burger or whatever. And what's that?
Yeah.
I'm like,
bummer.
What do you mean? What's that? It's on your menu everywhere else, but here. So I'm like, I'll just get a salad. I get a massive salad covered in bacon bits.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
as a former Applebee's employee, I can tell you the salad is ECBC. That's eggs, cheese, bacon, croutons. That's not a vegetarian friendly option.
No. And not a lot of places are vegetarian. I mean, they are starting, especially here in our area of living. they are getting more friendly. There are more options out there, but you do have to pay attention and read small handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, small print down there. You got to read it.
Yeah.
Wait.
As a former small restaurateur, I would say the trick there is probably just to find places that are small and make their own stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah,
you
absolutely.
can actually just be like, hey, look, I just need this. Or, anybody, because most restaurants, and this is the dirty little secret of most, I would say 90% of restaurants they all order things from the same 4 or 5 companies.
Mm-hmm.
Most everything that you get at most restaurants comes out of a box, and it really weren't put together. So if you're, go find yourself a restaurant that does everything from scratch, and you'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I cook like 90% of our food. So it's just like, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to cook it because I can't even walk through somewhere without seeing this or that or going out to eat. It's pretty much a nightmare, except for when I was in Arizona. When I was in Phoenix, Arizona, ate like a queen, never cooked one day.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest thing ever.
I heard you reference a restaurant that you went to there. You said, what was this place?
True Kitchen.
Yeah, tell me all about it.
It's called The True Kitchen. And it's not a vegan, plant-based restaurant. It is a farm to table. So they have chicken and they had fish.
Right.
But it was like, they were like really conscious about what they were doing. And so we went there because we were asking people, where can we get vegan food around here? Obviously, we're not cooking in our hotel room.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they pointed us over in this direction. They pointed us to 2 other places too. One place was like Green, and it was called Green, and it was like Go Vegetarian Green or something. It was really good too. A little small place, little shack in the corner. You never even would have known it was there. And the True Kitchen place was amazing. As soon as you walked in the door, they had like plants everywhere, but it was so clean and organized and open kitchen. Like you could see everybody cooking.
Ooh.
It looked like you walked into someone's house, but their kitchen stuff was like huge, like their whole house. It was amazing. And we sat outside. We had like these like little birds coming up to you. You're like sitting there eating. There's like birds like right behind Sonia. I was like, there's a bird behind you.
It's like a Disney movie.
It was great. Yeah, I'll totally go back there every time I'm in Phoenix, Scottsdale.
I had the same experience on the wharf in San Francisco. There was pigeon seagulls.
Yeah.
That kept trying to steal my food.
Oh, yeah.
Not as romantic.
Yeah, I was like, these bird was so cute. We didn't know what it was because he looked so crazy. Actually, he looked like a pterodactyl that grew feathers. And we were like, this is the craziest looking bird.
Yeah. Birds are dinosaurs.
Yeah, they are dinosaurs. But he was so crazy looking, like really crazy. I was like, what is this thing? We're feeding it.
Yeah.
Every time the waitress would come out, she'd like shoo it away. We really kept feeding it.
Please stop feeding the birds.
Come back, bird. Come back.
I think, for me, we talked about this a little bit, but your choice of how you eat, how you feed your body is almost a little bit like religion. Like you kind of got to find your way.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think that you can say that one thing is right for all of us.
No,
right?
Bio-individual is everybody has their own path, their own way.
Like a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe not for everybody. You got to kind of find your own one that cracks your back just right. Mm. But once you figure it out, like it's great. And
I'm still looking for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I would love to get the shit cracked out of me. Like,
yeah.
I think about it a lot.
Somebody manhandle me, would you?
Yeah. Just pick me up and twist me and throw me around.
Wait,
throw me all about.
Talking about.
I would like to introduce you to a website that I found called.
If it's a little romantic, it's fine.
Yeah. Craigslist.
There's some places on Craigslist I think that you need to explore.
It's in the bottom section. It's in the fine print.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It has 3 X's next to it. Yeah. Enter if you dare.
So
do I dare?
Are you 18 and older?
So how did you find your path to being vegan? Like what was your motivation, if you had any? Did you kind of just find yourself there?
I was in the hospital all the time. 24/7, crying in pain, puking. It was terrible. It was 109 pounds, and just to put that in perspective, I am 120 pounds right now. So 10 pounds lighter than I am now, which is crazy since I'm so tall. I'm 5'7", and I'm so thin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just naturally built that way. But 109 is pushing the, you look like you're on drugs, bitch, kind of look.
Yeah.
And people were worried about me. People were saying things about me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, what do I do? Oh, we're going to put you on all this medication. It's going to be totally fine. And then that didn't work.
I don't like that.
And I was like, that did not work. I wanted to trust the system, and I did. And it failed me terribly.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my own research. And then all this stuff about like the GI system kept coming up about veganism and cleaning your system and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm going to give this a try. So I kind of like started dabbling. It was a nightmare 5 years ago. I didn't know anybody. I was crying at the fridge. Anthony's like, why are you crying? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry.
So that brings up a good point. Does the whole family join you in the, in this crusade?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, my husband eats meat.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually eat like hamburger or pork. I won't even allow it in the house, actually. Health reasons, the background that I have, I'm absolutely not letting this in. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I totally support it, because I don't. I'm that wife when he's eating turkey. I'm like, gross, it's processed. You don't know what's in it. I'm that wife. And he's like, damn it.
I think you mentioned the farm to table place.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful atmosphere.
Right? My grandma lived to be old.
Yeah.
All of her, that whole generation, right? The quote unquote greatest generation. Kind of the last generation to come up without processed anything.
Yeah. Farm to table kind of stuff. And some of them lived to be the oldest ages and are still alive. There's a lady 102, 106 all the time I see on the internet.
Right.
This lady's 102. I'm like,
my grandma ate butter with a spoon. But it was like straight up. Yeah. It was just,
but it was
and
like
she had
real butter.
They'd milk a cow and they would, the cream rises to the top literally. And they would use that for everything. And going to my great grandma's house to eat was just the best.
Yeah.
But it was all farm raised natural stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was like,
they weren't out there taking needles and like shoving antibiotics into that chicken or boosting it up. They weren't doing that.
Yeah.
They didn't have the antibiotics. They didn't have the hormones in. It was just, this is how the chicken grew. This is the chicken we're going to eat kind of thing.
I think that's the key. I mean, really, if you boil it down, that was just the way food was.
Yeah.
And you didn't have people that with, even, I'm in my 40s, and the people that I grew up with I didn't know anybody that had a peanut allergy. I didn't know anybody that had, that was gluten intolerant. Yeah. Nobody.
Yeah.
I knew one kid that really wasn't great with dairy, but you just knew he was going to have gas.
Yeah.
Like this, they're like, oh, every time Tommy has chocolate milk, he's going to fart. But that was it. Right. And as we get further along the path of more and more processed stuff, more and more people have dietary problems. And I think that's kind of the key. I mean, it might not be that it's, whatever. You don't need to have necessarily an ism. We just need to have clean food, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. But then the argument of that is that there are 7 billion people on this planet and more than that now. But how are you going to provide all of that farm food to all of those millions of people? And that's the issue, is there's a problem of how we're handling that. And there's still millions of people in the world that are going hungry, including in America, which is crazy to me.
Right. How can we have this country with everything and still have millions of people starving?
That actually kind of segues me perfectly into a question that I had. I'm kind of curious what you thank you. So my question specifically is what do you think about like the new like plant-based, and we're throwing that plant-based word around again because that's like Impossible Burger, Beyond Burger, it's plant-based, right? Yeah. So like speaking on like just artificial stuff, like I know like those are even processed too, maybe just as much
processed.
Yeah.
Just the Impossible Burger's terrible for you.
Yeah.
It's terrible for you.
But pretty tasty.
It tastes amazing. We have to, me and my husband, we do this thing. As soon as Carl's Jr. came out with the Beyond Meat Burger there, we were like, we have to try it. And And then as soon as the Impossible Burger came out, I was like, we have to try it. Like, we have to.
Mm-hmm.
We want to support.
The idea behind it's really cool.
The idea behind it, but it's no healthier.
Yeah, but it's an alternative. I mean, like getting like, would you rather get a fast food burger, or would you rather at least have an option to get one that doesn't have meat in it?
That's absolutely right.
That's cool. Options are good. Like the question I had was like, do you think that those products are like just good for us, or they're good for the environment at all? Like, and kind of the whole, like, if we were all to, switch to this healthy food thing, and all this crazy stuff that happens like to cows and chickens and stuff like that, if like we were trying to keep up with the population and stuff like that, do you think that like that movement would eventually catch up? I guess that's my question. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's definitely in a turning point now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 5 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I'm so alone in this. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, it's like you got the Blue Zone, you got UC Veg, and Dr. Ross started, this whole thing with UC Veg. And now he's not here in Roseburg with us anymore. But it was crazy to see in 5 years how much it's grown.
Mm-hmm.
It's blown my mind.
Yeah.
And it's not always about, is it healthy? For me, that's always the question. For me, it's always, am I going to feel this tomorrow? Am I going to feel groggy? Because the reality is I want to wake up in beast fucking mode.
Ooh.
Like, I wake up, beast mode.
Yeah.
Coffee, dance moves. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
I wish I had that gusto.
If I eat the Impossible Burger, even though it isn't meat,
mm-hmm.
I feel that the next day because it's so processed. The bun isn't good for you. When you eat that processed bun from Burger King, I don't even know where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what's really in it. I can't even read a package.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can I read the ingredients on here? Yeah. No, bitch, go sit down and eat your hamburger. So, I don't think that's healthy, but I do think that the movement is coming. Mm-hmm. And I hope that we can get smarter on what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And I believe that a huge thing for lots of cities and lots of places should be gardens. I think they should have gardens. I think we should start putting money into gardens. Detroit is doing this crazy thing and has been for the last few years now. They have such a big community garden, and
mm-hmm.
they've taken houses that are ran down in garbage and they've painted them beautiful colors on the outside, and you can walk in and you just get what you need. It's amazing. That's amazing.
That's really cool.
Why can't we do that here? This is Oregon.
Yeah.
It is green state. Why aren't we doing it here?
Yeah.
Well, isn't Elon Musk's brother doing something in the agricultural area, like building shipping containers for gardens that vertically stack as opposed to, so it takes up less space?
Yeah. And so the idea is, I've heard some crazy stuff here, there, so I don't have all the details about it, but there is something like that. And me and my husband also looked into our own gardening, into doing stuff like that, not with the containers, but in a greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build an 800-foot greenhouse and make just a magnificent garden. And so, when that time comes, it's going to be crazy.
You'll be set.
Of the stacking. Yeah. How he's saying stack it. So I do not know all of the details because it's really not my area of expertise as far as this water thing goes, but it's pretty much the plant is grown out of like the pipe and then the water runs through. And my husband's
I've seen this as well. I know what you're talking about.
Hydroponics is
hydroponics. Yeah.
And so my husband, though, he loves water. He knows how it works. I know how plants grow. He knows how water works. Boom. What can we do? So let's see how things go.
Yeah. I mean, and the shipping container thing is real. First off, let's back up 1 second. Elon Musk has a brother?
Yeah. I think
I didn't know about that.
I thought he was just like an alien deposited down here.
No. So I don't really know a lot about it. I just know I think he lives in Texas and he wears a big old Texan hat. That's the only thing I've seen. So
complete opposite of Elon.
I think he's just as smart. He just his path instead of technology and like cars and spaceships and things. He went the agricultural way.
I got sucked into a rabbit hole this morning. I was trying to get ready for this podcast, and I turned my phone on, like swipe, and somehow, damn it, that Elon Musk and his truck was on there. It was like Tesla's truck. And I was like, tell me more.
Yeah, you can't get away from the Tesla truck this morning. This is the. Did you see that them like throwing the baseball or whatever it was at the window? It was supposed to be a shatterproof window, and it just smashed.
No, I've actually seen nothing of the truck.
Elon like broke character for half a second, just like the face fell.
Oh no.
Half a second.
Yeah, just half a second.
That's all you get though. Because he's not human.
Right.
So he doesn't really break character.
No, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's fine. I'm glad that whoever dropped him off here on the planet did.
Conspiracy theory. I just came up with this.
Yeah.
I love new conspiracy theories. I've already bought in, by the way.
Elon was sent down here. You know how, like, do you remember that episode of South Park where there's like the intergalactic like federation or whatever, you know, and like they're trying to get Earth, they're testing Earth to enter this you know, like they discovered the technology or whatever that was required to join the. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no clue, but keep going.
Well, I'm doing a bad job.
Funny.
I'm still sitting at the edge of my seat waiting.
Right.
So anyways.
Tell us more, Matt and Trey.
I think they sent down Elon, aliens from Mars, sent him down. And he's like the guy that's going to guide us to Mars. And like our stepping stone into the intergalactic federation.
Is that why he keeps trying to send us to Mars? I was so confused.
That's why he's doing it. That's why. Yeah. Or actually maybe no, the conspiracy theory. He's going to get us to Mars so they can eat us because we're out of food on Mars.
We're the cows.
We're
the cows.
Of a bitch, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Didn't they make a movie about that with Tom Cruise where the aliens are coming down, sucking up all the people?
Oh
yeah, that movie was crazy.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah,
that was a good movie.
That was a great movie. But those like crawly like ship things that were crawling around, you know, and sucking them up and like spitting them out in a little cage thing.
Yeah.
Too much of a butthole. Did anybody else think butthole when they saw that?
Yeah,
I was thinking octopus, but I mean,
it was just like a butthole thing that like spat you out into the human cage. You know what I'm talking about? Did you remember that?
I didn't see it.
Oh man,
I didn't see that butthole movie.
No, they would get. Look
at his face. He's like,
the humans would get.
I think Sean's referencing the movie off of Craigslist.
Yeah,
it's totally fine.
No, they would like scoop the humans up and poop them into the human cage.
I don't know how I got here, but this movie is fantastic.
Talk about rabbit holes.
Here we go.
I take it back. I bought out of your theory.
Oh, come on. It's a good one. You don't want to get pooped into.
I don't want to be pooped into a human cage.
My theory is that Elon Musk is the same exact alien that keep coming back in the Egyptian days.
Yeah. He built the pyramids, and now he's building really ugly trucks, which kind of looks like a pyramid.
Ooh,
it has that perfect, like.
It's a little too angular for me.
It's way too angular. Yeah. I didn't even know it was a truck until it showed it with the bike. The four-wheeler in the back and then the back down this morning. I was like, okay, you know what? I'd drive one anyways. Just be like,
So have you seen the Rivian? That's the truck that's going to be Tesla's biggest competition.
Really?
Yeah, Is
it also electric?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, so this is now the wave of electric cars is
it's coming.
It's getting competitive. Ford just came out with the Mustang, which has made a lot of people very upset.
Well, of course,
Mustang has been the flagship sports car in a sense.
If you can have
the raw acceleration of a Tesla in a cool looking car, fuck it, man.
Have you seen it though?
I really haven't.
I just saw it.
I read the headline. I'm a headline reader.
Gotcha.
They're gonna hate on it, and then what's gonna happen is they're gonna turn around and half those motherfuckers are gonna drive it.
I mean, I think I would buy it for sure. Yeah. You give me a black one and then all black everything, and it's there. It's in my
Everybody hates on everything for a minute.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gandhi said that.
All right. Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
So, but yeah, Rivian. I think that truck is really cool looking. You should look it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Definitely.
All right. So while we're on vehicles, let's talk about your bus build project.
Yeah.
First off, it's got a really cool name. What is it?
Our bus is called Timberline.
Timberline?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Timberline the bus.
That's rad.
Yeah.
So how did you get into, what's the term?
A Skooly?
Skoolies. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah. All right. How did you get into Skoolies? Take us back to inception.
I don't know what really happened.
Hold on, let's back this up one step further. You're a bit of a minimalist.
So that's kind of what happened though, is in my 20s, I lived in Philly.
Okay.
I had the closet in my bedroom full of clothes and the closet outside by the kitchen full of clothes. I realized my boyfriend at the time, Cassie, how come all of these clothes pretty much have tags on them? Like you're not wearing them. I had shoes, I had clothes, I had this. And I was just like, I don't know. Well, when I moved back to Oregon, I started diving deep, did the 20 thing, you know, drunk all the time and whatnot. When I came out of that spell, thank God I came out of that spell. Most of us do.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, I hate all this stuff. Like, I don't like any of it. Why do I wear this? I'm like holding it up. Oh, God. And then I just started getting rid of stuff. And then once you purge, it's the craziest thing. Once you purge, you just want to purge more. And then you keep purging again. And then you're purging more. And I just came to this point where it was like, I don't care what I drive. I bought an $800 vehicle. Great, great vehicle. Wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of it. Although I do love my Subaru. The car payment's not my jam. Not used to that for sure. But I don't want to live that. And I realized when I started purging and all the stuff started leaving, I started having more time for other things and more money. Gas money to drive me to wherever I wanted. I took this crazy trip, I think 2 years ago. I literally just woke up one morning and was like, I'm going to go to work. And when I'm done at work, I'm just going to drive somewhere. I ended up in San Francisco.
Rad.
Whoa.
Yeah, like I was San Francisco, 4 days. Fantastic. But it was because I wasn't paying anything. I didn't have a car payment. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. I didn't have to pack anything because I didn't feel I needed anything, right? So I had one bag. Mm-hmm. And all I did was drive around, eat awesome food, walk around, ask this little nice old lady to take a picture of me while I stood in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that was it.
You traded things for experiences.
Yeah.
That's the best.
And those experiences have meant more to me than anything else. I also took my kids, 2 of my children, on a trip with my cousin for 9 days. We took a road trip up to Glacier National Park and then down to Yellowstone and then back. Super cool. All we did was have my car. There was no real plan. The plan was go there, A, B, C, back home. You're good. That was the plan. Cool. We slept in the car.
Yeah.
It happened.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're moderately comfortable, then it's like.
I had a hammock. We had kids. It was great.
Right on. We took that was like a 13 state, 11 state? It's an odd number. Anyway, lots of state road trip in a Prius with 5 people.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
Got good gas mileage. It's like like the Prius and the cop commercial right there. Oh, you haven't seen it? No. Okay. Well, anyways, moving on. So, yeah.
So my husband, though, wasn't a minimalist. My husband, and neither are my children, of course. And so that came with time, and it came with watching me. Everybody says lead by example, and that's just what I did.
And maybe they'll follow, and maybe they won't.
Yeah. And then it was like all of a sudden I was like tearing this van apart because I was going to have a beach van.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to have a beach van. I longboard and skateboard. So the idea was longboards and skateboards on top. All I need is one bed. We have hammocks for the kids or for us, and the kids can sleep inside the bus, or in the van if it's cold. Old Chevy van. My parents gave it to me.
Oh, score.
They got it for like dirt cheap, and then it didn't run right. So they just gave it to me, and I was like, I was on a mission to have a beach van. And then it grew, and then all of a sudden my husband's like, yeah, let's get rid of everything.
So you guys got rid of your house too, right? I mean, you've gone all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
We are all in. We came home from Bend. We went up to, we call it the Loop. So we go up to Hood River, then drive over to Bend, and then come back through Diamond Lake.
That's the best.
And then back to Rose. Best loop ever. Mm-hmm. And so we did the loop. And by the time we got home in the middle of the day, I think, and we couldn't wait to purge our house. I have pictures of the kitchen and the doors blocked because we had went through everything that day. and put it all by the door. Don't need this. Why do I have 5 potato pillars? Like, what's the need for 5 potato pillars? How did we even get 5 potato pillars? I don't remember buying 5. It was just like, get rid of it, get rid of this, get rid of that. And things that had a potato pillar really has one job, right? It's a potato pillar. All right, well, I don't want a potato pillar then. I'm just going to use a knife. I'm going to get really good at just peeling with a knife because it has double standards and then I only need 1.
Gotcha.
And so we just started doing that and it was incredible. Actually, Anthony handled it so much better when we left our house than I did. I was shocked. I was crying and he was like, I'm so happy to be out of this place. I'm so happy we're doing this. And I was like bawling. Oh my God, what are we doing? Wait.
So you got a bus.
Yeah, we bought a bus in Lakeview, Oregon.
Lakeview's cool. So
it's not. It's like the shithole in like the corner of Oregon.
Yeah, but it's so weird that it's there even.
It's like there. Yeah, it's crazy place.
I think anytime I've ever been to Lakeview, I've wondered like, how the hell are these people doing what they're doing? Like, why do you live in Lakeview?
Somebody said, you got to go to Lakeview. We thought it was Lakeside. We thought it was over by the coast. And we were like, oh, okay.
Rad.
And then we looked it up and we were like, whoa, Klamath Falls. What the fuck?
You go out to the middle of nowhere.
There's
I was like, what is this place? I've never heard of Lakeview.
The road was barely big enough to drive the bus back. You know, until you hit the highway, I was concerned.
So you got the bus, you got it home.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then we opened up the doors. The night it got home, we opened up the doors and people came over. I put it on my Facebook story of us driving. I was behind the bus and I'm like, look what we just did. And people were like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, they finally bought a bus. We've been talking about buying the bus for years before we bought it. And people just came over. It was crazy. Like our friend, Chris Randall from Eugene, he showed up in Roseburg at our bus. We were like, oh my God, what are you doing here? He was like, I was in the neighborhood. You live in Eugene. You were not in the neighborhood. What's going on?
So had it been a school bus or had someone actually been like using
it was a straight school bus. It has seats in it. If you go to the Instagram page, Timberline the bus.
That's the Instagram page?
That's the Instagram page for our bus. And you will see it had rows of seats.
Cool.
Yeah, it's 40 feet. It's a gnarly 40-foot school bus. And it had seats and everything. We had to tear them out. It was very, really tested my strength capabilities throwing seats in the back of my dad's pickup truck. That's for sure.
What'd you do with all the seats? Just off to the landfill or?
No.
Okay, all right. I was going to see.
That's not really my jam.
Yeah. I wanted to know where this is going.
Yeah.
I was going to test you here.
Yeah, that's not really my jam. So what we did is we could take apart the metal. And so the metal didn't have to go into the landfill. And we actually ended up getting money for all of the metal. So we decided, let's take all of the cushions off. We took all the cushions and everything off. We took all the metal to the metal place in Green. And then...
Shout out Pat McGovern.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, what's the name of that?
McGovern Metals.
McGovern Metals.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so we took all of them there. And we made $16. Like,
heck yeah.
It was a lot of work for $16, but I'm so happy we made $16 doing it.
Better than paying the fee of the landfill.
Well, and the thing is that $16 did play for the cushions. We had to dispose of the cushions and like no one was like, we're not interested in your bus seat.
Dirty old styrofoam.
Yeah, like
stuff.
gross. No. Yeah. So that ended up, being in the landfill, which sucks. But we did what we could do, and that's what we could do.
Saved literally tons of stuff from going in there.
There was so much metal. Yeah. It was incredible. There was like 3 truckloads.
Yeah.
And not just metal.
Metal, Naugahyde, and foam. That's it.
Not just metal on the seats. Metal from like the ground. There were like all these little metal pieces that started falling off from underneath the bus. Every time we took off a seat, these little metal things would hit the ground. And I was like, there's something falling down here.
It's fine.
It doesn't look important, but you should check it out.
There's always that extra piece.
Yeah. It's a future us problem.
Well, a lot of those extra pieces and like the bolts were like through the top. So all of the little bolts were still stuck to the metal because it was been on there for so long.
Sure.
All this stuff is hitting the ground, dropping as we're taking out seats. So there was a lot of metal that went to them.
So you peel all the seats out, clean it up.
Took out the floors.
Okay.
That took out the floors.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. Stay positive. So then we got to the heaters. That was a nightmare. The heaters went all the way from the front, to the back. And there's these big heaters that sit underneath the seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then
that was the good seat.
Yeah. You wanted to be
during the winter.
Yeah,
you wanted that seat.
Okay. Well, there was 3 of these heaters in this bus and it was really intense. So we had to
it's cold in Lakeview.
Pull all of these heaters out, and then the heater lines, and they were full of coolant, and that was going everywhere. And I was like, "Oh my god!
Oh Lord, that stuff's so dangerous."
I'm holding it up. My dad's like, "Hold it higher!" I'm holding it as high as I can before it drips on me. So we did that, and then we tried to paint the ceiling of the bus, which was not a good idea. Don't do that. We started rolling it on. It has all these little holes in the ceiling. And some of those holes got full of paint and some of them didn't. Mm-hmm. And as I started looking up, I was like, no, I can't do that. That's going to drive me crazy. Like some of those. So then Anthony's like, let's just go through and poke all these holes. Millions of holes? Not happening. I'm tearing it off. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Fuck it. Go big or go home. Let's do this. Tear it off. Let's see what's up. And we did.
And then what'd you do with the ceiling? I've seen pictures. It looks really cool, but.
Yeah, so the ceiling we took down also went to McGovern. They took the metal for all of that stuff, which is great because there was a lot of metal. There was the side part, there was the roof, the chairs. And then we took all of the insulating down from the top of it, which was, I've never worked with fiberglass in my life. So I had no idea how serious it was. Although I was covered in the Instagram photo, there's a photo of me and it says, just do it on my sweater. And I'm like hood up, glasses,
just
face is covered.
Somehow still couldn't breathe and itched everywhere.
Yeah.
Fiberglass sucks.
Yeah. And I'm wearing gloves and I had shirts pulled down and the glove was over the top of it. And I was it was terrible. Yeah. It was absolutely, I just got it done in like 2 hours though, because I was not doing it again the next day.
Insulation's a bitch.
Yeah. And that was like the destruction of the inside.
Like, so tell me about construction of the inside.
What's the budget for something like this? Just out of curiosity.
So the budget is about $15,000, and the bus is $5,000. Yeah, so really, the rest of it you're looking at like $10,000 for the inside of it.
Yeah, and before we get into it too, like your build is pretty elaborate. Like I've seen some of the pictures. It's like,
thank you.
Very nice
worked on that floor plan for a year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about floor plan. What's it look like? Walk us through the bus.
So when you first walk in the bus, you walk up the stairs and then there's a wall. And that's where all the shoes go. And it goes all the way up to the ceiling. The shoes, gloves, beanies, stuff like that for the kids that got to go outside, And then you have the captain chair. And then the captain chair, the wall also is behind the captain chair. Because I really wanted to feel more like a home and not have that open space in the front. And so really build that up and then put a curtain there. Mm-hmm. And then I did not like the aisle. Everyone does the aisle. They have an aisle look to their bus. I did not want that. It reminds me of a bus or it reminds me of a boat. I was like, I'm not feeling that. I'm going to do an L shape. So when you walk into the bus, it's immediately to your left is our little heater. And then over here, it just goes like straight L, straight couch. And then we window deleted the window right here. And then window deleted the window on the left side as well, the very first windows. So they're gone and it's wall. And then you walk around the couch, which is an L shape, and then into the kitchen, which goes to the back of the couch. And then it's an L shape as well. And then the fridge is there. And then we did the aisle thing because, shower, bathroom, which are two separate. We didn't do the toilet with the shower. No, there's plenty of room on that bus. Separated, okay?
Nice. So that always weirded me out when you see the van life builds.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, check out my tiny little shower. And it's like
you're standing on the toilet.
Yeah, basically like straddling the toilet.
So it's called like a wet toilet or something like that. And I saw so many people with that and I thought, I am not doing this bus is huge. I do not need a closet. I need a drawer. I don't own a lot of clothes. I just need a drawer. Just give me a drawer somewhere and I'll be good to go. But I am not putting the shower with the toilet. That's 2 separate things. So those are 2 separate things. And then the kids have bunk beds that are 7 feet long.
Nice.
They're huge. When you look inside of it, people are like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, that's right. We gave as much space to them as possible.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the room at that point, right?
Yeah.
That's their zone.
Yeah. We joke around. I call it the safe space. Go to your safe space. Yeah. So it's 7 feet long and roughly, I do believe it's about 35 inches wide.
Nice.
It's a very big space, which is phenomenal for them. And then they have a closet. In that closet, the top part is Owen's and the bottom part is Natalie's because they're children and they have toys and whatever, clothes and all their stuff. So we gave a lot of space to them without asking them to become minimalist because they're still children.
Do they have friends come over?
Space. Yeah.
Yeah? What do the friends think?
Are you're living in the Skooly now?
No, we're not. We're supposed to start living in it in January.
I can imagine like, hey, you want to come over and play? And like they show up and like, we go to school?
All their friends know that they live in a schoolie. They think they already live in a schoolie because the way they say it,
right?
They already do in their mind. Like, yeah, you should see my bunk bed. It's so cool. You should see my room.
That's cool. You know, I think that's cool because it's like those kids are going to see that and they're like, I want to do that when I get older because that is really cool.
We were at a track meet at Roseburg High and some girl was sitting by me and I was like doing something. She was like, so, you know the kid here? I was like, yep. She's like, that's cool. You skateboard? I'm wearing like Vans and a beanie and I recently had shaved my head and it was freezing outside. And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's really cool. What kind of lifestyle is that? I'm like,
What do you mean? What do you say?
This girl thinks I'm like hella old skateboarding. Yeah. You live in a bus. I'm like, oh, my daughter's over there. She's not talking to me because of our bus. And she was like, what? I'm like, we live in a tiny home. She's mad about it. So she's over there. Our oldest daughter is 15. His biological daughter. And at the time, she was like mad about living on the bus. And now she doesn't live on the bus though. So she's like, I'm so glad I'm not living on the bus. The other 2 love it though. They're like, yes, I'm gonna live on the bus.
That was one thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, I've got 13-year-old twins. Mm-hmm. And so, we live in a pretty small house right now, with 1 bathroom. And so we're like, we've got to the point now where, they're teenagers, they're like, they play sports, they do things, or someone's always in the shower or always in the bathroom. And we're like, this is nuts. So how do you manage that? And what's the, obviously this is something you plan on doing for a long time. For a while, yeah. What's the future look like for you as far as that goes?
We hope that we can buy property. We're just not sure where. I would say we just don't know where we're going to land, which is why the Skooly was such a good idea. We looked into a tiny home,
right, into
buying property and putting an actual home connected to power, connected to water and sewer and all this stuff. And it just didn't pan out because it was like, oh my God, so we are staying in Douglas County? We're not moving anywhere. It's like, wait, are we moving somewhere? And it was just like, we can't buy a house, can't buy property. We don't know what we're doing. I'm definitely that person's that like, let's go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm not into commitment. I know I'm married, but commitment to something financial and something so set, not my jam.
So you've got the ultimate flexibility at this point.
Yeah.
Right on. We've got some friends that decided to buy property, but go with a yurt.
Mm-hmm. I love the yurts.
Yeah, it's bitching, and now they've got they're adding on to the yurt, and so it's like they spent the first year just in the yurt, and they're like, okay, well we need a kitchen, and now they we need a functioning big bathroom or whatever. But it's cool to see as their family grows, as they do their thing, they can choose.
So our idea is that we will do yurts next.
Yeah.
When we find where we're going to be. When we get to that point, we want to do yurts and I want to do a retreat like with yoga and food and kind of get people unplugged and let's get back to reality. Like, let's go kayaking. Let's show people how to get reconnected back to nature and back to real food and get away from that fast pace and processed food life.
Also, if you can set up yurts on a property, that's like unreal Airbnb like money.
And we talked about that as well. We talked about Airbnb the yurts out when we weren't throwing retreats and stuff like that. And that's definitely, that's just where we're headed. Who knows how long it's going to take, you know what I mean, for that whole dream to come true. But I pounded my husband for a bus for like 4 years. I am not afraid to keep going.
If there was a place, if you had an option, like I know it's probably a little bit more difficult since you do have a family and stuff like that. So you can't just be like, well, we're just going to travel indefinitely.
Yeah.
Right? There needs to be some sort of probably,
Yeah.
But like, let's just say hypothetically, if you could just pack up and you're like, we don't know what we want to do. We don't want to, have any like place we want to live. Maybe we'll like homeschool the kids for a year or something like that. I guess I don't know if you're into that or not. But like if you could just get in the bus and just go anywhere with said bus for a year and live there in the bus.
Yeah.
What would you do? Where would you go?
I would have to pick somewhere tropical and warm for my husband and my daughter, Natalie, because Natalie constantly is talking about palm trees, beaches, and sunshine. And that is exactly what my husband is talking about. He just doesn't like heat. Like Arizona, when I go to Arizona, he's like,
dry heat, baby. That's too hot.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm like, I love it. I sent him a picture. I'm by the pool. It's 107. Like, don't even care. And he's just like, no, I am not hydrated enough for this.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about the bus and like that van life and the travel life and whatnot is the fact that you can just chase the weather. Yeah, and you're not grounded or trapped by, bills, payments, and
you think you might do that? Like maybe if you have like a place to call home, but like most of the year just travel around and stuff. You think that would be an option?
You think it's hard at this point to really say if that is a big plan for me, because the idea is that I'm an entrepreneur 100%. I got, 7 things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And to make all of these things work, it takes constant attention.
And way harder if you're on the road.
To make everything work and really get sound, I definitely can't be moving around like that unless everything is done. Mm-hmm. And buying the property and doing yurts or whatever we do as far as getting the property up and going and stuff like that, that is 100% my retirement plan, because I don't pay into retirement. So I don't have a retirement plan. So I have to constantly be working. But the reality for me is people are like, aren't you scared you're not going to have retirement? No, I'm not. I'm scared to retire. I'm scared to sit still. I'm scared to not be in motion. This body in motion needs to stay in motion.
I think that's the thing with most self-employed people. People that have gone out and kind of figured out their own path. Is that, I don't know anybody that's really self-employed that has a solid retirement plan.
Yeah.
It's because they're never thinking about that. You're so busy building today and the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not the best way to look at it, but it's the only way I know. It's it seems to work so far. I mean, I grew up in a family of my dad had a business, and my mom has always been the person where it's like, find a dream and chase it. Go. You can do anything.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's just, I see my dad now, who is quote unquote retired, and he's still just nonstop movement. And I think that's just who you are. If you're that person, then you are definitely going to be moving.
Yeah, when I wake up in the morning and my feet touch the ground, I want the devil himself to be like, oh, fuck. Yeah, that's right. My husband's that guy that has the good job, though. You know what I mean? Like, he got the good job. And he doesn't, I wouldn't say he loves, he always tells me he is inspired that I have a job where I'm so flexible, I can do whatever I want. It's like, sometimes I'm just jealous. And I'm like, you can do it too, boo. Like, I don't know what's stopping you. We could all do this. And he's just like, no. He's definitely more, no, I need this job. I want to make this much money.
Right.
I need to work for this long, and the retirement that it pays is like 80%. He's very into that. That's his thing. And I think that that's important, because the other day he was like, well, sometimes you make it sound like you want me to be like you. And I said, honey, if you were like me, this wouldn't work out. Like, someone has to hold the hot air balloon from floating into outer space. I'm the hot air balloon. You are my tether. Sometimes you bring me down and just check Hey, you doing okay in this hot air balloon? You're doing great. Okay, I love you. Bye. Like, let's be back up there and just like, living the dream up here with the birds. My head's in the clouds.
It's good to have somebody that's the brakes every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's, it's the yin and yang thing. If you, if there's two people that are like that, sometimes it gets a little squirrely. And on the flip side, if there's two people that are like, let's just, go to our job and
nothing ever gets done.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're 2 9-to-5ers, then it's rough too. Like it's, I don't know, maybe it's great for those people. I just don't know. I really live that life.
Yeah. I'm definitely the pusher. Hey, we should do this.
Okay.
No, we can't do that.
I need you to walk me through a minimalist exercise. This is I need some life coaching here.
Okay.
Right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
So I watch TV and I got rid of Dish Network a few years ago. I was a cord cutter.
Cable cutter.
Yeah.
Cable cutter. Yeah.
I cut the cable, and then so then I got Netflix. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon we're like, I kind of like to watch live sports. And I don't know if you've seen any ads, but Hulu has live sports.
Oh my God! Yeah, I've seen yes.
Yeah. So I got Hulu. So that's Netflix.
Now you can cut out the Netflix though.
Yeah, but there's some shows on Netflix that I kind of need.
So there's lots of shows on Hulu that I need, but I have shows on Netflix. So I haven't gone.
But then The Mandalorian happened.
Oh, Disney Plus.
Now I need Disney Plus.
Baby Yoda.
So Baby Yoda.
I love that. I just love Star Wars so much.
Right?
Oh my God.
What's not to love?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when Anthony told me that this was happening, I was like, oh my God, like I can't even be sucked into this rabbit hole, but I'm about to because I have people buy me Star Wars stuff for Christmas. Like I own all the Star Wars, like the original ones on VHS, and they are in prime condition.
Nice.
Ooh,
I'm like
nice.
hardcore.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So there's Hulu with live sports costs $55 a month.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on.
Wow.
With the Disney Plus, it does come with a dumbed down version of ESPN. Like you don't really get the NFL package, but I do believe you get the NBA package.
You get ESPN Plus.
The Ocho?
Yeah, the Ocho, basically. Yeah. And you
get Nat Geo too, I think, don't you?
Yeah. Nat Geo.
Yeah. So
Nat Geo's pretty good.
But before you go further, if you add up all the services like Netflix, Hulu, Prime, the Disney Plus, Apple TV, it's still cheaper, significantly cheaper than your Dish Network.
Oh.
And plus internet.
So right. So that's the thing. I'm paying internet, all those things, which thankfully I have Verizon Unlimited, which means I get free Disney Plus for a year.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was the reason why we
That's the real reason we did it.
Yeah. But
Not Baby Yoda.
well, it will be now.
Yeah.
Like I get that for a year, and then I got decisions to make. I got to figure out how to, squeeze $6.99 out of my empty wallet or something like that every month. So
I was like, I'm taking bottles and cans in for this.
Yeah. So now I need all the apps. Like as my personal. I mean, you said something. It seems to me like your whole thing is just figure out a way to go do it and live your best life. How do I live my best life with all these freaking TV options?
So this is what we did in the beginning when we became actual minimalists in our home before the bus. We got rid of our TV and sold it. We sold our TV, our Xbox, all of it, because there wasn't a way. An addiction is an addiction.
Yeah.
And that's an addiction. It's that screen addiction. It's fierce. I had to delete my Facebook. I had to delete my Instagram from my phone. Only could it be on my laptop. It had to be really serious because it's such a serious addiction. Well, it's like 6:30. So, I mean, it's late enough. We've worked so hard. We should reward ourselves.
Right.
Those are just excuses. Well, you know what? I don't want to hear the fucking excuses. The reality is the only way to get rid of it is to take it and get rid of it. That's it. And it was definitely one of the harder things. Our kids were like, oh my God, what are you doing? We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it. So we did.
Now what do you do when it gets dark outside?
Well, now we have a TV again. We went without a TV for 3 years.
Aha. All
Yeah.
right, because the Mandalorian happened, and you were like, "Baby Yoda, I gotta get a TV."
No,
again.
I wish that was the reason why. My husband my husband plays like Call of Duty and stuff with my brother and stuff like that. And I feel the same way though today that I did then. I just put something up on my Facebook. It was like, does the TV have to be on till 11 o'clock at night? Honestly, does it? No, it doesn't. I'm about to like Office Space this fucking television right now. And everybody was like laughing because they were just like, holy shit, yeah, it's about to happen.
Immediately picture you beating up a fax machine with a bat.
It was going to be that television, you know? And I was like, in my mind, I was like swinging that bat around like, woo, let's do this.
If we start doing custom thumbnails for the YouTube, we need to get Cassie with a bat, just like beating something in for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I will.
All right. Well, I feel like I haven't learned anything here. I don't know which app to get rid of.
Like I said, man, I think you just got to choose one. I think
there can only be one.
There can only be one.
Get rid of Hulu. Get rid of those commercials.
I like to subscribe to the like
commercials on most things because I pay the extra for sports.
Oh,
but do you have enough self-discipline to be like, I'm just going to do one?
I'm overplaying it, so really don't watch that much TV. But this is my question. Like we recently, the reason I brought this all up was I did want Disney Plus because I did want to watch The Mandalorian. I'm like, this is dumb. Now I got rid of Dish because I didn't need. We really don't watch that much TV, so it's like, why am I spending that much money on something I don't use?
Yeah.
And then, but it's so dumb now because I feel like each app has like one thing that I use it for. So Prime, which is free because we buy so much Amazon shit.
That's how we are too. We have Prime, but obviously we're building a bus. So
yeah.
Amazon
Prime is like one of those things that like if you want to buy a lot of stuff and that's like the anti-purge.
The build is like it really helps to build. For
the building, yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially if you go through Ebates. Like if you go through Ebates and then you click on the Amazon and then I just order whatever I need and then you get money back. They give you money back. Yeah. Stop it.
I've got last week in our pod I talked about some coffee that I bought on Amazon. It's fantastic. I wanted to give it my official review. We're all coffee guys here. So it's called Real Good Coffee. I got the medium roast, which is the donut shop.
Donut shop coffee.
Donut shop
the best coffee.
It was so good. It's the Sean, you're a big sports guy.
Are you, Sean?
The trick is I had to try to get through that with a straight face. Sean, you're a big sports guy. So you know how in football the quarterback gets all the praise and the glory.
Oh yeah.
But the linemen are really the guys that are keeping the show together, right? Yeah. If they're not blocking, shit ain't happening.
Defense.
Yeah.
I was a lineman, I know.
Yeah, Sean knows. So Real Good Coffee, the donut shop version, is the lineman of the coffee. You could probably buy some fancy quarterback coffee out there. It costs you a bunch of money. But if you really just want something that's going to wake you up in the morning, it can be tasty all day long and be smooth and good and not overbearing, but it's definitely not weak. Real good coffee,
like a real good breakfast coffee.
Exactly.
So you know what would have been really cool is if you brought like a thermos full of it and gone down and shared with the rest.
Yeah, it would have been cool if I had some to share with you guys, but I'm almost out.
Just drinks it out of the cup.
But our good friends at Two Town Cider. They're great. Go support those guys. They're local Oregon people. They're fantastic. They're nice guys.
Definitely my favorite cider.
They make bitchin' cider. Right? So good. Pineapple. Yeah. Their pineapple is the great thing about that is they just don't filter it or much. And so it's the same pineapple that you get from basically any good cidery that's making a pineapple cider. But they're not filtering off the haze. And for me, it makes all the taste difference. It's wild. It's so I can geek out about cider for a while, you guys. Let's plug some stuff real quick. Like super important stuff. Where can people find you?
So I'm Concrete Foodie on Instagram for food stuff, nutrition, health coaching, even women's confidence is on there as well. And then for the bus stuff, build stuff, anything towards that, or just wanting to admire the bus life, you can find us at Timberline the Bus.
Timberline the Bus. Right on. One thing that I heard you say in another podcast was stop worrying about what people say, which is so dope. And you definitely do. You're doing you. Yeah. It's such an extraordinary level. Thanks so much for coming and sharing that with us. I can't wait to see how the bus project goes. We'll have to have you back on after you guys have been living out that thing for a while and hear some stories.
Year one review.
Yeah. Year one review. Yeah. I think.
Where are you going to be in a year?
you guys, who the fuck knows? But the reality is, when you invite me back, I'll just drive from wherever I am because my parents live here, and it's.
Or we could just do this on the bus.
We could
that would be even
on the bus.
Yeah, that'd be way better. I will say on part of the closing out part that I like what you're doing with the bus and the experiences that you're going to be able to experience yourself and with your kids. And I think experiences over things any day.
Yeah,
because you're going to remember the experience over the thing.
Yeah.
Way longer.
And there's a lot of naysayers. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of naysayers out there for every aspect of kind of the life that I live. Because it's like, I was like, I think I'm going to go plant-based. I think I'm going to be like vegan. And that was like one thing, you know? And then it was like, I think I'm going to be a minimalist. People were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then it was like, I think I'm going to live in a bus. Like, okay, listen, Cassie, you've changed. And I say, if people don't say that you've changed, if they don't notice that you've changed, you're not growing. Yeah. You're not being the best version of yourself. And when I wake up in the morning, when I say wake up in the morning and I'm in beast mode, it's because I want people to say that. I want to hear you say, Cassie, you've changed so much. Yeah, it's called growth. I'm growing as an individual. And when I want to wake up, I want to sleep, eat, and breathe, hustle.
So the other cool thing about being on a van or in a bus or whatever is it forces you outside to do things, and you're not like, because it's too small to actually like really do things inside.
Or you could get cabin fever. It's up to you. I don't know.
Yeah, but it forces you to go out and see the world. And I think, a lot of like just like TVs and like screen time and all that stuff, you trap yourself indoors and you shut yourself off to experiences that really kind of mold you and to go with what you're saying on like people injecting their opinion. I think that also goes with the fact that like you have people that grew up with like, you have to get the job, you have to get the house, you have to have the job with the benefits and this, you have to go to school. And then you have the other side that's just like, fuck it, let's jump and see what happens.
I think my generation's pretty terrible. I mean, I'm 33 years old, but I think my generation by far is terrible as far as things. I've got to drive this nice car. I got to make this much money. I have to dress like this. I have to go to the Bahamas and then post all of it because they're like, they have to. There's a void. There's a void in them. And so they're constantly buying the next new thing. And that to me, when I see that on someone's profile, I always think, what the fuck's really going on? Like,
well, so that's actually really a serious problem. Like I forget what it's called, but I call it the Facebook syndrome, where it's like because everybody posts all the good, positive things. They don't really post the negative things. And so you become envious of all the other people. Well, why can't we have this? Why can't I have this? Oh, cool. That dude just bought a Ferrari. I mean,
he's miserable though, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know what I really want to do is I want to just go rent a tux and a suit and go rent a Ferrari, and then I've really wanted to do this and just
put
rent really nice things and like, hey, I need to borrow $100,000 cash, and just it's not go rent a plane and just throw all this cash in there.
Yeah.
I mean, and just put this fake.
There's an old TV series that you can actually go and watch that actually happens, and it's called MTV Cribs. So
for real? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the cool thing about life is that there's enough room in it for all of us to do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about your generation a little bit. One of the things that I think are really, really cool about your generation is the first generation that I can think of as kind of as a Gen X guy, that really doesn't have the.
I thought you were a baby boomer.
Is it the gray and the beard? Tell me more.
This is the big thing. The Xers and the Yers are actually out there someplace. There's a big gap in between the millennials and
the blank space in the middle.
We're the blank space in the middle. We're the middle kid that nobody talks about.
So you're like the level, like you're the bubble that's in the middle, balancing the X. And the Y.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the cool thing about the millennials and kind of the whatever the next generation is after that is there really isn't that breaks. I mean, there's people are way more likely now to just be like, no, I want to do my thing. I don't have to fit the mold. I don't have to do whatever my parents did, I can go out there and just go for it. And that's a great thing. That's obviously not most people aren't doing that.
Yeah.
But more
absolutely.
people are doing that.
I think it's growing. People see how people live like this glamorous life one time, like I was paying $1,200 in rent in this nice house on a half acre, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you're living in a bus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now your rent's $400 a month for space?
I was taking my younger cousin. She asked me if I would take her and her friends to a concert. She was like 15. I'm like, cool, whatever. Like, we'll get you a ticket. I didn't ask who it was. And on the way up there, we're going to go see Creed. I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. But then I looked it up and Local H was opening. I'm like, oh, I like Local H. They're a good band. And then we got there and there was a note outside that said Local H is like the lead singer was ill. We can't make it. So there's a local Northwest band that's going to take their place. And we got out there and guess who opened for Creed?
Who?
Nickelback.
Dude, Nickelback made a strong comeback. All of a sudden, like, everyone loves Nickelback.
Yeah. This is how you remind me.
That's the first time I ever heard you say it. You love Nickelback?
Millions of people go to Walmart.
He doesn't love
Yeah, Walmart butt rock.
Okay, all right.
Nickelback.
Close this out.
Cassie, I gotta say, we've known you for all of 2 hours now, and I would say you seem pretty fucking happy. And I'm super happy for you and what you're doing. I can't wait to keep watching it unfold. Thanks for joining us.
Check it out
Appreciate
on
it.
Instagram.
Yeah. You guys drop her a note, say hi, check in. Please talk to this lady. She's got a lot to offer. For producer Nate, Sugar Sean, I'm Casey O'Toole. We're out. Have a great one.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you stopping by. We appreciate Cassie stopping by. She came over to the clubhouse and hung out with us for a good long time. We had a blast. Guys, do us a favor. Like and share. Leave comments. Tell us what you think about Sean. All right? We want to know. Do you like his hat? Do you think he looks like Dave Grohl? Important information that we need to have from you. Anyway, hey, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time for exciting episode 6.
It'd been cooler if you did. That's way better. So there I was at the movie theater, hammered drunk, with my kids. Frozen 2. In a world. In 3.